Hi, welcome to Smokin with Swami. I'm Swami Chaitanya, and my partner,
Nikki Listretto. And boy, what a great guest we have today, Tim Blake.
He's the founder of the Emerald Cup, and we're going to ask him now just about how did you get started with the Emerald Cup? What was happening?
Boy, it's 13 years ago. We wanted to have a celebration of the fall harvest. I always enjoyed going to the county fairs, and the sights and smells just always amazed me. And we thought we should be able to do the same thing and have a friendly competition at the same time. So we decided to just go for it, and we did. I think we had a couple dozen entries, and it was a couple hundred people, not even that many people.
I think there were like a little over 30 entries.
On the first ones, maybe
that
the
first
most,
year.
yeah.
And it was down at Area 101, right?
Yeah, Area 101. People showed up in mass. They were very hesitant. We finally found the second year's poster, but we haven't found the first year's poster. We didn't even put one out. So we have everything but the first year's poster, and it was very reserved.
Yeah, well, I mean, we used to sit around the trim table before the Emerald Cup for years saying, oh, wouldn't that be amazing someday if we could have like an actual competition and do this in public? And it's amazing how many things we used to joke about are becoming true now, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
Pre-rolls and, advertising campaigns. And
boy, it's all here. You think of it, and it's come in.
Yeah, so now in that first year, I think, as I recall, I think there were exactly 34 entries, right? And somewhere between 29 and 34. And then about half the people didn't put their name on the entry. And there were several people who actually won who never came up to get their prizes, right?
Yeah, we still have the winner of the first year, the old man that his son gave him the seeds for the Purple Kush.
Right.
And then he was 86 years old and won the award. And so we were going to give him the award, and he said, you know what, I'm going to be dead soon, and there's no reason for you to keep this, so why don't you keep the first award? And so we still have that guy.
See, this is ironic. This was some totally random guy who was like, just put love into his plants,
He was a vegetable farmer. He wanted to grow vegetables and stuff, so he really, those people...
He knew what to do about growing,
They were going to do well, and I was so worried about the awards because they were going to be ceramic, and I thought we were going to see coffee mugs or something. Actually, if you remember them, they were actually pretty good. They were pretty good for the first year. And I actually have the third year, the third prize too. They didn't pick it up. So the first or the third didn't. So we actually have those in the first year.
So I remember the first year was kind of a dare, and we smoked a lot of cannabis, But the second year, I was actually much more nervous because if we were off the radar the first year, they certainly knew about us. You put up posters. It was on K-Mud and so on, right?
We were not shy.
We came out and started having some publicity, although we still didn't do much. And we got away with it. Yeah. I think it was the third or fourth year. That's when the cops showed up.
Oh, that was the year we kind of took a break because Nikki went to...
there was 1 year we took off.
We came for the cup, but we weren't in the judges.
Remember that when you had a sister's vacation?
And that was the year that they showed up? The police showed up?
No, but you were at the event, though. Yeah.
Well, the cops had shown up the previous year, and it was the redneck... the redneck CHP showed up, and there were cars all over the highway, and he was threatening to arrest us. And it was funny, Marv was just announcing the awards on stage, and so he's standing out there, and the cars are driving by and leaving, and he's going, I can arrest every one of these cars, I can smell the marijuana coming out, cars all over the highway, and then Marv goes, and number 6, a Purple Kush thing, and he's like, and I don't know what's going on in there. He goes, but it's crazy, I'm going to come back, all this better stop. And I was like, and then we went and tried to get the cars out of there, but we couldn't get them all out. And he did go away. I mean, I think they were afraid to come after us.
But there was no way they could arrest everybody there. There were probably about 300 or 400 people there then.
Yeah, and so what happened was I got a lot of grief from the sheriff and the CHP that year, but then I went down and gave them a bunch of grief and said, you guys didn't give us the right to put out signs. You wouldn't give us any help. You supported us at 0. And so you guys really owe us because you're contributing to this whole thing. So I gave them so much trouble that the next year...
So you have to put out a vent ahead and no parking and all.
You're supposed to go out and get a permit to do all that.
All right.
And so we just did it. So the next year, I'd had an experience on Highway 20 where I was coming off the road and I slipped and my car rolled. I had 10 pounds of pot in the car. They didn't know that then. But then I stuck it over the side. And then a CHP showed up, and he was all in white uniform and stuff, and he was really cool. It's raining and stuff. He goes, I think we can roll that car up.
Wow.
And so I said, really? And he got into the mud with me, and we tipped his car back and forth and actually popped it up back onto the road. But then
and then you still had to get the weed out of the bushes.
Yeah, he took off, and I went and got the weed, and then he came back and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm waiting for my daughter, because she's going to come pick me up. And he was like, oh, okay. And then she showed up, and I was like, oh, shh. and then so what happens is that then that next year we had the second nightmare with all the cars on the highway, everybody coming off, and so again the CHP shows up, and I'm thinking, oh my God, the rednecks here, I'm in trouble this time, and so I go out there. And I'd already told them that they had to help us, and they wouldn't, so they were kind of on the spot. Huh. So all of a sudden, this guy pops up, and he rolls his glasses up, and it's that guy. And he goes, remember me? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm not here to hassle you. I just want the cars off the freeway. We don't want any problems with you guys. Whatever you do in there is fine. Just get the cars off the freeway. And so I went in, and we got on the horn and begged everybody to go out. We still didn't get all the cars out.
And, of course, at that point, we already had some pretty big parties in Area 101 that just sort of happened. And they always were so mellow because they realize people are going to be here and they're going to dance all night. They're not going to be driving home in the middle of the night. Nobody's drunk.
Well, the first Go and Gill party where there were 1,000 people there.
There were cars for a mile either way.
But they realized no one was going to leave until morning. It was really safe.
You know what I think? I think it was so dead back then. There was nobody out there. Yeah. You could be out there on the highway and it wouldn't matter. So I don't think they didn't even know what to do. It was like so virgin in a certain way. The cops were like, what are these people doing and what do we know about them? I don't have any clue. Just keep on the highway. What's going on here?
So anyway, the second year there were 62 entries, I believe, right? Yeah. And then we started this tradition of where we would roll all these joints in the back room. The judges would get in the back room and we'd roll up all the joints of the top 5 winners. And then we come out, and as they were introduced, we would pass them out so everybody could smoke. And we'd say, here, this is number 3, and you have to smoke it now, right? And so the whole place would all of a sudden be getting loaded on number 3, right?
It's kind of hard to do that now with 20,000 people.
No, but now we can't. No, but now you can't smoke indoors, right? So that's the other thing. All these rules come in.
That room used to get so filled with smoke. We had that lady pass out. She actually passed out, went down because she was overcome by the smoke in the building because there wasn't any ventilation, so it just filled up. And
this is years ago, folks. It's no longer this.
It was about 6 foot. Well, actually, the ceiling's high. It's probably 8 foot wall.
Yeah.
But back then, Marv used to do the awards.
Yeah, that's right.
It definitely did not have the pizzazz. In fact, people complained so much. That's why we finally moved you guys in. And
first Nikki and Bob Arsodi did, and then I came.
You know what? You're right.
And then what's his name? Jack.
And Jack Likas one year.
Yeah, so Bob and Jack were with Nikki. Finally, then Nikki and I got together.
You know what? I think of it as Swami and Nikki ever since the beginning. In my mind, it's always been
we've been the judges since the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, doing the announcements. Mm-hmm. I just think it's like we're part of the show.
We're just fun with it. It's so much fun. It's such an honor to be a judge in the Emerald Cup. I mean, not only do we get to sample all these amazing things and see what everyone else is growing, and it's fascinating just as from a studying, research point of view, you know. You just meet, we've met such great people. I mean, some of the other judges are lifelong friends, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just love them.
Yeah.
And it's
great. Also, it's just a real privilege to be able to hand out the awards and to meet the people who actually grew this very, very fine cannabis. And so, you know,
totally
and all the judges over the years, we've had so many. I mean, most of them can't handle it. I mean, I remember Eric coming in. This kid thought this younger guy thought he'd just dust all the hardcore judges. Thought we were a bunch of older people, and he comes in, and by the end of that judging, he can give you guys props. He was like, "Man, I'm blown away." He buried him. I mean, he didn't realize smoking pot. People go and get high every day, whatever else. When you get high 8 times a day, and you have to think about what you're scoring, what's going on in your head, and this whole pressure thing. It's like, oh my God! After a month of that, you're like, "Let me out of here."
Yeah, because we scored on looks, fragrance, taste, and effects, right? And so we have to assign numbers so you know where you are, right?
But all the judges who are growers, though, it's always this way on the last night, which makes him a choice. Everyone's like, I can't wait to go home, smoke my own, and not take any notes. Just gonna smoke it.
Because you actually just get to get high.
Yeah, right. We try to stay in practice all year. You know, we don't want to.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a good judge. It really does. We vet them out and tell them, you know what this is. We've had so many celebrities or different people that want to be judges, and then we explain to them what the requirements are. Because it's not only that, but you have to get together. Think about the weekends. We get together on December 1st, and then the next weekend, like the 7th, and then the following Thursday, and there's like 3 full days in a row over a 10-day period where you guys get together, and then you go home and just go through all of it again. Yeah. And most of them can't handle it. I mean, most of them are good for 1 year, if they're not 2 or 3 years. But I mean, you guys are the only ones left from the beginning. Even Bob's dropped off.
I guess we are.
Yeah, really.
Kevin Jobry's not there.
Kevin's not coming back this year, huh?
He might, but it's taxing.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. We just sit here in this room and set and setting and just smoke away. You know, it's really a far out thing. So now this year, what do you expect at the Cup? It's going to be in Santa Rosa again this year, and also one of the things I want to point out is in the first few years we just had a party and announced the contest. But slowly we started to get speakers and panels and things like that. You know, Ed Rosenthal would come in, and now there's like several days worth of panels, and some of the most important people in the whole cannabis industry are all discussing these issues.
Yeah, well, it really changed. It was the year that they busted the 9.31 program, and we were going to cancel the Cup.
Right. That was 2011 or 2012. It was Melissa Haig and all that.
12 or something.
Yeah,
13. Oh,
2012, I think. Yeah.
And we decided to go for it anyway. And that's when we put the panels with all the lawyers and all the people, and we kind of changed the whole feel for it. Right. And up until then, they wouldn't come up because they looked at it as an all-night party. You think about it. I mean, we weren't getting a lot of those people. But then it was this merger of the serious people with the...
No, but I remember that year when they were busting out, the U.S. Attorney General was going after everybody, and all these clubs, they just shut down and so on and so forth. And there was this whole thing, should we do it, shouldn't we do it, and so on. And then good old Tim says, in your face, yeah, we're doing it, right? So we didn't get quite as many entries that year as we got.
Every year it went up. It never went down. We didn't get as much of a jump.
Right. Really every year basically it doubled, but that year it didn't double.
It didn't quite as much. Well, that was a really sketchy year. And it wasn't because they
we put out the notice late and everything, but it was still a great year.
So, Tim, for this year, it's earlier. Everything's a little bit earlier, right?
Well, we keep moving it up. We get the entries in. The deadline's December 1st. Okay. But that doesn't give you guys enough time to judge.
Right.
Now, it used to work because we weren't doing the pesticide and the microbial testing. That takes 5 days.
Right.
So then all of a sudden, even if we go at the end of the month into November or December 1st, you still have 5 days of testing. So it's like, how does it? Then you guys aren't getting it until the 7th or the 8th.
Yeah, no.
So now what we're doing is we moved it up last year, I think, to the 29th or the 30th. Now they're moving it up further. They're demanding I do it. Well, because look, we didn't have enough time to do it right last year.
Right. So, and they felt bad about that. Yeah,
so
they did.
No, it must just be a ton of work for SC Labs to suddenly...
Well, they don't do it. The thing about it is they can't.
So you guys,
that's why you guys ended up smoking stuff that failed. Right. And so it's really, it's worse for you guys. So the bottom line is we can't give people stuff that fails, and so we have to test beforehand. So you got to move that date up. So now the last day is going to be the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
Entries, the last day of entries.
November 20-something.
It'll be the 20. I'm not sure what the date falls on, but
it's always a Thursday. So it's going to be the Saturday.
It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be the last day. So it'll be the 26th. So we moved from the 1st up to the 29th, and now it's the 26th because that way we have 5 days to test. We can get it back to the judges again by the 1st of December with everything in.
And also crops have been coming in earlier these years, actually. So,
but they like the cure. I mean, you've always talked about wanting. Everybody's talking about having the Cup in springtime, so you get the cure and stuff. But then it's not a fall harvest celebration.
Right.
You don't go to the county fair and see apples.
We love the harvest.
Yeah, so it's a whole fall. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it work, and then you guys will have all the entries, and next year we'll move it up even further for the edibles and tinctures and whatnot.
So now, how do you go about picking the judges, the core judges for the flowers and so on? Because
and for all the different levels,
they're different, same theories, but I mean, for the flowers, we're looking for judges that are like balanced, like working dispensaries or the buyers in dispensaries. We usually try to have 3 or 4 of those, and then we have some old school people that have just been around forever, and then we get 1 or 2 young people. Like we've had in the past, but sometimes they don't keep up. I don't think get voted off for being tough to deal with. But I think it's a nice balance. So we go for a little everything. I mean, last year
getting more and more judges from outside Mendocino County.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Last year we had Jerry Garcia's daughter.
She's great.
She had the highest scores of everybody. I mean, and she was a great person to add to it.
Great. So she's
Mike from Synergy Teas. He was in. That was an older guy.
Oh, right, yeah, Mike is great.
We brought, Rick Farmer.
And he kept up.
He did. He's good. He wants to come back this year. I asked him. He said he'd have no trouble.
Oh, good.
We just have to replace a couple people. But the flowers, I feel, are stable because you guys are there. It's funny. We're just talking about it. It used to be like a core group of you guys and Bob and Susie and Dorji, and there's Kevin. But now we really only have you guys, really, and a couple others, maybe Pearl and whatnot.
Well, so it was Pearl and Rachel from Humboldt.
Rachel's been there for a while.
Yeah.
and Pearl. So anyway, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have a great time with it. The flowers are really easy to do because you guys are there, and the old time judges are there. The concentrates are great, and they become a much bigger contest. So Rosin has many entries as flowers, but Taylor Beazle from Beazle Extracts oversees that. He brings in the best hash guys, the best concentrate people in the world. So that's all.
He used to win the hash contest every year.
He won it 2 years in a row. They beat the third year by Brandon. So that was an amazing thing. So that's good. And then the edibles and tinctures and all the rest of them, it's challenging, and we're getting better and better each year. And
well, those are new categories for us anyway, right?
But yeah, we've added on. First it was just a flowers thing. Then we did the concentrates. Then you added the rosin on. You got the 6-star in there. Then now we put the dry sip now. And now you've got the tinctures, salves, edibles, and all the rest of it.
CBD.
And the CBD contest too, and then the seed contest, right? All of that. So anyway, it's pretty. So of this coming up, what's the actual date now? The cup.
The cup is the 10th and 11th.
10th and 11th of December at Santa Rosa. Now, if you were going to pick out one special feature for this cup to say, what would it be? Well, first of all, tell us who the main musical group is.
Damian Marley is going to headline every year. I try to figure out how we're going to top the last year. And with Damian and Dirty Heads, it's like, wow, we hit a home run.
Okay.
No doubt.
Well, that's great. Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. But other than the music, what would be the one other thing you would say would be come to the fair because this is going to be a unique highlight, a special.
Well, the overall thing, we're going to have Prop 64 go, so we're going to have legalization in California. It's going to be the last year you're going to need a permit of any sort of license. It's going to be a party and celebration. People are going to just really be celebrating adult use.
And the 215 area is going to be bigger than ever, right?
It's going to be bigger than ever.
Next year in 2017.
You don't need a permit license. So it's just going to be a celebration of the legalization of cannabis. It's going to be the first one.
Oh, because we'll know by that time whether Prop
64 is going to go through, so it's going to pass. Damian Marley's coming to celebrate them buying Kalinga State Prison. So there's going to be a whole party with those people at Ocean Grown. Yeah. Dirty Heads has a huge record that's coming out. Alex Gray is going to come do art with his wife. 3 days with Alex, and they're heavy cannabis people. And so they're coming.
So there's no one thing. It's like everything is really just outrageous.
The speakers are going to be amazing. And we even have a karaoke Burning Man, chariot thing going around. And we're making $20,000 in lights. So it's like well, just people love to do karaoke. We've got Dougie coming from Hitman Glass. Dougie's going to do whole glass blowing demonstrations with the best artists in the world.
Listen, you can't afford to miss the Emerald Cup this year. And but it's still just 2 days, right? Saturday and Sunday?
No, it's 2 days, but we're doing a pre-party on Friday night.
You can't. It's not 3 days, actually.
So what happened was we're doing a pre-party with Damian Marley and his new company, Ocean Grown, with the Kalinga State Prison to announce them. And people are going to be able to buy tickets are the vendor sponsors, VIPs, contestants and whatnot. Very few tickets going on public, I think, anyway, if they sell out. And Damian's going to come host that. So at the Grace Pavilion for 3,500 people, we're going to have a private party on Friday night. And it's going to be the inside family. So that's going to be stunning. So
there you have it.
If you can get to that, it's great. Otherwise, Damian will headline Saturday, Dirty Head Sunday. The awards is always.
The awards are on Sunday.
Yeah, 420 as always. And going to be an amazing event. And hopefully you'll all join us. I mean, all the booths are sold. Everything else is sold.
Come on down to Santa Rosa Fairground.
So.
It's so much fun. You got to be there.
Really?
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks.